this is miserable. This is miserable. Day 28. Doing a little cross-country hiking through a sagebrush field here. Just past the Bears Ears. Probably still see them back there behind me. They don't look so earish from this angle. And yes, I do feel a little bad for misleading everyone, calling this the Bryce to Bears Ears hike, when I had never really had any intention of stopping at Bears Ears. It's actually not a very good place to stop. And there's so many more great things around here to see. So the plan now is to go over to Woodenshoe Canyon, which I've never been in, so I'm really excited to check that out. And then drop into Dark Canyon, one of my favorite places. So I'm looking forward to that. Especially after a dry year and, really struggling for water. To be in that stream, it'll be great. And from there, I'll hike out to Hite. So that's the plan. So we'll call this Bryce to Bears Ears Plus, or Bryce to Bears Ears with some additional footage. All right, let's keep her going. Oh, a horny toad. Where you going, buddy? Guess he didn't want to be social. All right, still walking away from the Bears Ears. It's awesome to walk through them. And now it's going to be awesome to keep going. Definitely a different environment than I've been hiking in for a while. And now we're walking by a nice big pond. Just making me feel all more foolish for carrying all that water up that hill. Still have it. But you never know. I really thought I might have to go a day and a half without any water sources. But it's what we do. Such a different environment. It's definitely not my typical scenery, but it's a nice change of pace. Different birds out here too. There's one of them. There's the other one. Actually, I saw four, but two already went by. Say hi to your mother, dear. It's definitely cooler up here on the plateau. I almost broke out the jacket a while ago. So right now, even when I take a break, I'm in the sun. Sitting in the shade is a little too chilly. So I'm sure it'll warm up when we get back down in the canyons, though. Oh, look at this. First time seeing a big cat out in the wilderness. Look at that. It's a beast. Dropping into Woodenshoe Canyon now. Feels good to be back on the trail, off the roads. The cicadas are hatching. I can hear them chirping all around me, but I've yet to see them. The living versions. Just like the whole forest is chirping, but I just don't see them. I found a live one. He won't stay in focus. There's a live one. It just sounds electric with all the cicadas going. Probably too much wind, but it's just almost sounds like electricity crackling by a generator. It's cool stuff. Still making my way down Woodenshoe Canyon. Woodenshoe is named for a series of buttes up on top called Woodenshoe. Kind of like Bears Ears if you have a little imagination. I guess they look like a wooden shoe. I climbed out of the main canyon because I spotted what looked like could be some ruins high up on the level above. And sure enough, look at this. Some pictographs up above. Nice little structure. Made it to the lower end of Woodenshoe Canyon where the spring is, which is this great dripping wall of water. I'm using it to fill up my jugs. Made it all the way here with my 7 liters from Natural Bridges. Only passed 5 other water sources on the way. But it's good to know that I could have done it if they would have all been dry. It would have been a lot easier though if I would have known they were there, because I would have traveled a lot lighter, a lot faster. I just met a group of 6 people from the National Forest Trail Service out here doing some rehab on the trail and some of the access roads. They were friendly and they were cool. They were down here for 4 days. And I thought that was a lot until they heard how long I'd been out. So all is good. I'm hoping to make it into Dark Canyon tonight where there's some water. More water because it goes dry after this. And I'd love to camp by a little creek if I can, but we'll see if I make it that far. All right, that's a thought for now. There's a nice campsite here right by the spring. And when I was at this spring 11 years ago on my Escalante to Monticello hike, this was not here. And all the trails that connect up through the canyon, not here. So evidently this area is getting a lot more use since then. I guess the Woodenshoe to Dark to Peavine Loop is pretty popular. So that's probably what's brought all the development. That's the junction of Dark Canyon out there ahead of me. Okay, Dark Canyon is literally just around the bend now, up ahead of me. And yeah, Woodenshoe Canyon was pretty good. You know, I wouldn't call it a spectacular canyon, but it was nice. Had a good trail running throughout, plenty of water sources. So yeah, I could see why it's becoming more popular to do. And now on to Dark, which, you know, no debate, I love, especially the lower part of Dark. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. Signs in the canyon are new too. And this is why I do almost all my hikes eastward, because I love to hike late in the day, and hiking into the sun sucks. I hate it. I can't see anything. If you want the good view, you have to turn around. Look there. Look how pretty that is. No, hey, it's Mr. Shadow. Hey, Mr. Shadow. See, if I always hiked westward, I'd hardly ever see you. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, let's keep it going. Ugh. Eating my dinner in my tent. Day 29, Dark Canyon. Yay. Morning of day 30. Had a good night last night. Got into the tent a little bit earlier than normal and decided to listen to some music. Something I rarely do out here. I listen to a lot of music at home, but out here I never listen to music while I'm hiking. But occasionally, after 29 days in the desert, it's nice to have a little treat. And that treat was listening to some Tom Petty Wildflowers and a little Taylor Swift. I'm not too cool to admit I listen to a little Taylor Swift every now and then. A little Folklore and Evermore. Good stuff. Anyway, it was amazing just to be listening to music, and the moon was out with some dark clouds, and it made this patchwork across the sky that just looked crazy awesome, like cobwebs, and then there were dark parts, there were clouds, but then dark parts with with stars shining through. It was amazing. And then pitter-patter, it started to rain on me, and I thought, I'm just going to let it rain, because I didn't think it was going to amount to much, and it was raining through the tent, and started to pick up, and I said, okay, that's enough. I had to get out in my underwear and a headlamp, running around my tent, trying to get my rain fly on, and it was crazy. It was a fun moment, but got the fly on, and then, within 5 minutes, the rain had stopped, so I went back to listen to my music, and it was awesome. It was a good night. All right, here we go, day 30. All you base jumpers out there, I have a new destination for you. The hike back to your car with your chute would be a long one, though. There's one hobby I'll never get into. I will not be base jumping across Utah. Still making our way down Dark Canyon. Taking a little cool down break in this nice overhang. It's starting to really warm up out there. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to those pools. Can't wait to get there. This part of the canyon is pretty tough right through here. It's still dry, lots of boulders. All right, as much as I hate to leave this nice shady spot, I gotta keep moving down canyon. The day will pass you by if you let it. And I don't want to let it, because I'd rather be in those pools, swimming and cooling down. And the water begins. Oh, man, poor guy. He's big. I think that's an elk. First I thought it was a deer, but no, I'm pretty sure that's an elk. That's too bad. Skip a lot of the brush along the stream. This part of the Dark Canyon, you walk up on these ledges. It's really cool. Creek cuts in a little canyon down below. See where we're headed. Walking the ledges is a lot easier than along the stream. Day 30. I said that yet? It's been a month. It's been a month since Bryce Canyon. Sometimes these ledges you can get ledged out though, which is problematic, so it becomes a bit of a puzzle. Where are we right here? Except for an enormous, gorgeous pool. Wow, look at that. Okay, all you cliff jumpers out there, got a new location for you. A gorgeous spot. This is the obstacle waterfall from several years ago. This was not a pool, and that was just really slick to get up, so you had to use the bypass. Man, that is gorgeous. I'm at the waterfall at the bottom of Young's Canyon, where it meets Dark Canyon. If you know me, you know I'm going in. My first shower in a month. I love it. Wind's picking up as I'm making my way down the canyon. I love this section right up here. Yeah, look at the canyon through this section. As I like to say, good stuff. Something I should have done 20 some days ago. I'm finally gonna do it. These have been driving me crazy. Much better. And don't think you're gonna get skipped either. Yep, should have done it a long time ago. Well, this is sad. It's a dead little bat. Ah, poor little guy. To be here when a flood of this size came through would be a pretty amazing sight. Considering we're a long ways above the creek right now. There's definitely more growth and more algae in the water this year, which is a little bit of a concern because in western Utah over by Zion, they were having some bacteria outbreaks from the algae, cyanobacteria, which can be deadly if ingested or if it gets in the eyes. Usually only to pets and kids, but you know, it could be bad for an adult as well. So I'm hoping none of that is here. Coming up to one of my favorite pools, so I wanted to jump in this last time. Not so much this year, it's not as deep and not as clean. Yeah, like all that algae, this looks a lot different than it did 3 years ago. I'm guessing a lot of the algae and growth is because there hasn't been a lot of big storms. Same reason it's dry out there. It was a mild winter and no big spring storms. It really needs a big storm to kind of flush this out. For instance, the type of storm that puts all this debris up here. Just imagine a flood of that size, to flood this entire inner channel and to be up at this level and higher on both sides. That'd be crazy. It'd be something to see. And of course, if I was here, I would make a video just so that I can get millions of views and have half the people call me a moron for being here during the flood and the other half to say that I'm exaggerating it all or that I staged it all. Yep, that's what people do on the internet, I guess. All right, let's keep going down this canyon. People frequently ask me, what's my favorite place to hike in Utah? That's a bit of an impossible question to answer because I really like the variety. But Dark Canyon would definitely be on that list. It's just, I love the geology, the stream, you know, you can look up high, you can look low. It really is a great place. But, I mean, also Zion West Rim, the Barracks, Upper Berea, Coyote Gulch, Boulder Creek, Harris Wash, Stevens Canyon, Halls Creek Narrows. Can't hear me over this wind, I'm sure, but I'll keep going. I'll keep going. Got Salt Creek, Canyonlands, Upper Muley Twist, Chop Rock Canyon. Can't forget that. It's gonna be like Forrest Gump naming shrimp. The Needles District of Canyonlands. And look at that. How can you not love this? Oh, the maze. Cannot forget the maze. That's just off the top of my head. I'm sure if I gave it a little bit of thought, I could rattle off another 10. And my top 5 would change any given week, depending on how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking about. Don't want to fall in that pool down there. I'm doing something I never do. Well, hardly ever do. Ooh, slick. No, falling down I've done before. I'm stopping for the day and it's not even 6 o'clock yet. This is one of my favorite spots in the canyon. And there's a campsite right up there that I've passed twice before, and I've always thought, man, that'd be a cool place to camp. It's a little early today, but I'm going to do it. I'm stopping so that I can check out the Cascades here. There's a pool up there, which is already in the shade, so I think it's too chilly to jump in now, but I'm going to do it in the morning. And yeah, just enjoy this nice spot. Yeah, I told you to fall down. I just did. Coming to check out my favorite pool and got a little excited, I guess, because I slipped and I fell. Whew. I was pondering whether or not I should get in to test it out. Considering I'm pretty wet already, maybe I will. Canyon. I love it. It's too slippery to get out. It's like a keeper pothole and stuck. So slick. I swear I'm not active. I gotta find a spot that is not so slick. There we go. Yes. Woo! And great. Now some clouds have moved in. It's gonna be hard to warm up. Well, I think I'm changing my mind. After that dip in the pool, some pretty big gray clouds moving in this way. And as I mentioned, the sun got covered up by clouds. So I think I better get on down this canyon. All jokes about flash flooding aside, I don't want to be here during a flash flood, especially with so far to go. The one good thing about this canyon, there is a lot of high ground, so the danger factor is minimal unless you're totally taken by surprise. But yeah, it could stop progress down the canyon, so I think it's best if I get a little farther down. That'll give me some more options. Okay, hiking again. Who stops before 6 o'clock at camp anyway? You know, the weather is definitely turning too. Just in the last hour, it's cooled down a lot and it's gotten windy. So, you know, I don't know. I don't really expect a big storm. Wasn't in the forecast. There's a chance of rain, so, you know, I don't think it's going to be much, but you never know. And Dark Canyon does have a huge catch basin. You know, you hear that it could be raining 20 miles away and sunny where you are and still flood. That's really not that true for so many places, but this place, it's true. And there are places it's true. It's one of the most important things about floods is to know the catch basin, know how big a drainage you are in to surmise your chances. Okay, well, I have lost the trail, so I'm going to turn you off. That's all for now. All right, so moving down canyon. It's so funny. Do I think it's going to flood? No. I would say it's a very, very long shot. Am I aware of the possibility that it might? Yeah, you know, and I'm being very conscientious of what's going on. But, so, am I playing up the drama by talking about it? Maybe a little bit, but, you know, I think it's good for others to be aware that I'm being aware, if that makes sense. Okay, the slight chance of a flood is not going to stop me from showing you more of the canyon, though. Whoa. Such as this spot. This is one of the deeper pools in the canyon. I'm guessing it's 15, 20 feet deep there, maybe. Okay, now let's keep going. More logs from a big flash flood. And to clarify the type of flood I'm talking about, just a minor flood. It would not do this. It would not, you know, flood that entire channel and put logs up here. But what it might do is raise the stream a couple feet, which could make it a lot difficult to cross. And the nature of the canyon is you're crossing the stream all the time. I don't want that. So, all right. Let's keep it going. Sun's popped out, that's good. Let's see if we can find a place to camp. All right, morning of day 31. That storm last night that I was worried about didn't amount to anything. And today we have a nice, sunny, warm day. Should be great for jumping in a few more pools and then hiking out of the canyon. All right, let's go. Walking more ledges in Dark Canyon. Swimming with one hand is kind of hard. Oh, I love it. It's a little bit chilly, I'll admit. Oh, good stuff. I don't usually look at my footage while I'm out here. A, to conserve battery power, but B, to kind of leave it for a surprise for later. But sometimes I do spot check certain clips and stuff, and I noticed a little more gray this year. So I don't know if that's the result of a hard 2020, or I'm getting up there in years. I have a bit of a Peter Pan complex, so it's hard for me to imagine myself aging. I like to think I'm 27 forever, but it kind of hit home when one of the road stretches I was walking, a friendly guy who stopped and gave me water. He was talking, and he's a younger guy. I didn't even think about it until he said that it was awesome what I was doing, and that he hopes he can do something similar when he's my age. I'm like, oh boy, when I'm your age. Yeah, that made me feel old. But anyway, I'm doing it, darn it. So, all right, that's the thought for the moment. Let's keep going. Such a nice section right through here. Soon, maybe imminently, I'm going to have to get back up on those ledges though to avoid the inner canyon. Just gets a little too rough and too many deep pools. Sure enough, right after recording that last piece, I saw some markers showing a route up to the ledges. So I went ahead and got up here. Canyon below is beautiful, but I know just ahead it gets too rough to hike in. I think I found my next swimming hole. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Yes. I should clarify my swimming habits. One should never swim in potholes, like stagnant water, because of the animals and the wildlife that depend on that water. But a stream like this with a big enough current, it's okay to jump in. Just make sure you don't have any, it's not a bath, so no lathering up with soap. There you have it. That's Jamal's take on swimming in the wilderness. Caught a lizard. Okay, got interrupted his lunch. The wind is blowing like crazy today. Really hard gusts. See our way out of the canyon. A big cliff up there. That's where the Sundance Trail exits. It's going to be a brutal climb. It's a price you pay though. Another good pool to swim in. I've had a good day today. It's been fun here in Dark Canyon. It's probably going to be one of my lowest mileage days of the trip, but you know, that's okay. I'm enjoying it. I'm soaking it in. A little melancholy too, I think, because the trip is winding down, and you know, if last year proved anything, is you can't take anything for granted. So I don't know, I just kind of want to soak it all in as much as I can so that, you know, if I don't get back out here for a while, I'll have some good memories. Or maybe I'm just procrastinating and don't want to climb that big hill. That big hill is calling me. Okay, gotta get to hiking. Dun dun dun, the hill of death. Or at least the hill of great effort. So I've done this a few times coming down, but never going up. Something tells me it's going to be a little bit harder going this direction. About halfway up, I think. See back there, that's where we're going. That's where we came from. I'm sure you can see the lower canyon down there. A little bit more. Still climbing. I forgot a good way to tell how far you are is to look at the opposite side of the canyon. So looking over there, straight across, until I'm probably just now halfway, when I thought I was halfway about 15 minutes ago. Yep, not great. Slow and steady wins the race though, right? That's what I'm hoping. Alright, I think I'm getting close now. I hope. Yay! I made it up! I finished the climb. Whew. Took about an hour and a half. Definitely easier going down. Alright, we gotta get to Hite. Fading light on Dark Canyon. The last of the sun rays. Great sundown looking towards the Henry Mountains. End of day 31. The sky is lighting up. Trying to squeeze in a few more miles before camping. To get to Hite, our new destination. Today was a pretty good day. Woke up to a fairly strong rain. Rained for about 40 minutes, got everything wet. And made some potholes. See where I slept. And we're gonna power through. We're gonna get to Hite. All right, let's go. Potholes are filling up. Okay, we're going that way. Today is a we're still having fun. We're getting it done. That is a cold rain. Oh, and the wind is just... this is going to be a long walk to Hite. Squaw and Papoose Rock. Papoose is getting a little wet today. I've said it before, but that little kid doesn't look any bigger than it did last time I saw him. He must be the Paul Rudd of Papooses. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, this is miserable. This is miserable. I see blue skies ahead. I hope coming this way. Sun's coming out. There's new snow up on Mount Ellen. Check it out. If you look closely over there, you can see the Colorado River Gorge. It's the very bottom end of Cataract Canyon. It's raining again. Correction, it's actually hailing now. It was a cold rain. I half expected hail earlier, but now we have it. It's late May and I'm in a hailstorm in Utah, in the desert. Oh, we're getting close. Just battle the weather a little bit more. We'll be there. We'll be at Hite. This is driving me crazy. It's cold and rainy, then the sun pops out and it's warm. I get hot in my gear, I take it off, and then it starts raining again. Then it starts hailing, put my gear back on, then it gets hot again. It's just non-stop. Okay, we're getting close. Almost there. It's like every 10 minutes it rains, gets everything wet, and then the sun comes back out blazing. I see civilization ahead, or at least Hite. Woohoo! Yay! I have made it to Hite, thus completing my Bryce to Bears Ears to Hite hike. The question is this the end of the journey? Yes, yes it is. 32 days and nearly 500 miles, it's time to stop hiking. There's a part of me that thought about hiking all the way back to Bryce, but I wanted to keep this trip under 5 weeks, and well, you know how much I hate hiking westward. I've seen many great things and had many great experiences on this hike. It almost makes up for missing last spring. Almost. And as the balloon said, welcome back. It's good to be back and it makes me happy. I carried these guys all the way just to have a symbolic good ending, and I think it fits. As always, I want to thank you for following along. I appreciate you letting me be your guide as I ramble my way across the state by foot and sometimes by mouth. Okay, I'll see you next time on Across Utah. Take care.